Today we're going to take a look at the Envoy and see how the framework is holding up. It's been about a year since I did a lot of framework on this when I first got it. The interior was in great shape and the motor ran great and transmission was in pretty good shape. But the frame, it was something to, well, not to be proud of. So, here's some pictures real quick what it looked like. Some of the places in the frame that was bad. So I just jumped in on it when after I got it. I did a lot of this with a 110 welder and a grinder and some used metal plates laying around. Cut some plates out of some different things and ended up making the frame look pretty good. So this side over here, let's see how it's doing. I haven't been under here really since I finished it up. I've been driving around a lot, kind of looking here and there, making sure I didn't have any oil leaks. But here is this side here, and this is under the driver's seat. And it looks pretty good. Nothing really too obvious there. So, and on the inside, well, under here where the plate was that went across the transmission, you can see I did have to weld some of this back in here, and it looks like it's going to be in pretty good shape too. I had to weld this piece back here across this brace here. That is all good. And if I hold the camera up in here like this, I think you can see that things here are looking pretty good also. So compared to what it was, this is in really good shape. It's looking pretty good so far. And we'll have to go on the other side and see what we got over there. Now, if I remember right, the passenger side was in really bad shape. It had some big chunks taken out of it there, right about here. And I think if you look closely, you might be able to see where one of the plates is right there. I don't know if you can even see that. I can't even feel that, but yeah, that looks really good too. Looks like it's holding up nicely, just like I wanted. And like I said, I had to grind off some of these plates. This one here, had to re-weld it. And I had to re-weld, I think it was right here. If you go back and look at the video, you'll understand what I'm talking about, because I had to take this brace out. And there was some places on the back side of this frame I couldn't get to. This brace here was in the way, so that's why I had to just kind of cut it off and take it out of there and re-weld it. So it took a little while to get these bolts back in straight. So everything here on this side is actually looking pretty good. I'm kind of looking at it myself here, making sure I don't see anything. Now, I did squirt a lot of used oil up in these holes, let it run down into the frame, and that really just makes a tremendous difference. And I think up here on the front, I had a place that I had to take care of here. It seems like it's in pretty good shape too. So far so good. I'm gonna stick my hand in here. I'm gonna spin the camera around a little bit. And looking pretty good there too. Everything is looking really good, and I think this should be just fine for the life of the vehicle. And I don't know if you can see anything up in here or not, but everything here is looking good. And you can see the rust proofing I put on here, holding up very nicely, nice and solid. So what you want to do is squirt some oil up in here, just shoot something on these holes and let it run down in here, and this will really protect your frame, especially in these Envoys and these Trailblazer. They have a really bad problem with the frame, especially if you live in the Northeast. They have some serious rust issues, but overall I'm happy with the outcome. I'll probably have 3 days worth of work into this. That's how bad it was, and just some free pieces of steel laying around the house, and cheap 110 welder and some patience, and that's how I took care of all this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. It looks like we're going to be okay here. Thought we'd just kind of look at it here and see what has happened in the last year. A lot of times if you don't rust proof this, put something in here, you'll start seeing places where you welded and where you pieced it in, it'll start to rust, and you'll see streaks running down and all that, but I don't even see that. So yeah, a lot of YouTube videos on there on how to do this. So so far so good. And one quick look here, I don't have my spare on here, and I leave it off for a reason. If I have to go on a trip, I'll put it inside, I'll clean it up a little bit. And I want to keep this back here, kind of keep an eye on it, but it's doing pretty good too. Usually these get rusted out, although I will save my spare tire crank here. That is no good. I'm going to have to replace that. I can sit there and spin this, and it'll just sit there and won't do nothing. So it's stripped out on the inside. Pretty common on these Trailblazers, so that's why that's kind of hanging there. But back here usually is a pretty bad place. Now I do have a couple minor places right there, a couple holes in the back part of this frame where the Looks like the trailer hitch kind of bolts onto, well actually no, that's just part of the regular frame, but that's not that big of a deal. But other than that, compared to the Northeast, you know, a lot of these Trailblazers, they get rusted out so bad, they become unroad worthy. Yeah, can't even get an inspection sticker on them. That's how bad they become. So that's why I usually leave the spare tire out for a while when I get a vehicle, just to kind of keep an eye on things. But one last look on this side here, all the way back to the back here, and you can see lots of holes here where you can spray oil in. You can see just a little bit of surface rust there. No big deal. So this is well worth it to me. So far it's been a good vehicle, no leaks or anything. Just your general maintenance of a Trailblazer in an Envoy. So have you done any framework? Let me know in the comment section. How's your Trailblazer in Envoy holding up? Alright guys, that's a quick look at it. I thought we'd just kind of get an eyeball there and under there and see what it looked like so far after doing all that work. So thanks for watching. Until my next video, happy fixing. I'll see you later.